Mo, I figured it out.
You have.
I know why Abby can't find a man.
Oh, this is big.
We're just going to talk about her like she's not even here.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me grab my popcorn. This will be interesting.
Romance novels.
That's the answer.
Romance novels. So Abby and I went out to dinner this past weekend for our Two Girls One review, hitting up different spots, around town. And we're sitting there and we're sipping our cocktails and we're talking and stuff. And she and Cassie have got me into this cult. You are very aware of ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's a book series and we jokingly refer to it as fairy porn, right? Mm-hmm. And while there is some scintillating scenes, there's a big story that's being told, and it's very entertaining. It's more than just
There's more plot than pee-pee.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
There really is more plot than pee-pee. It's so much so that I'm drudging through. We finally got out of the library.
Oh, thank God.
And now we're about to go to the Court of Nightmares so he can make his request.
Oh, okay, things are about to speed up again.
Okay. Anyway, back to the subject at hand.
Mm-hmm.
So after reading this book and this level of expectation between these two main characters, or not this level of expectation, but getting involved and getting attached to these two main characters, I could see how a single person could establish unrealistic expectations of a mate. And I use that word intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
So before you have your retort,
because it's prepared,
we're going to spar. I have evidentiary support. I have science.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that's tough to beat.
So the psychology of love, romance novels and their influence. This is an article from Medium from Vanya Pasari. And she said, with my finger waving in the air,
Ew.
According to a recent study, reading too many romance novels may harm your chances of forming a genuine relationship. She quotes Dr. Julie Slattery, a psychologist, who claims that many women who read these books express discontent with their marriages or romantic relationships. Do the hopes for a genuine partnership now become unrealistic? According to psychologist Deepti Makaja, because there is no logical justification for partnerships, romance books have an impact on how you view relationships. Women anticipate, he should love me regardless. The connection must be flawless. It is neither practical nor useful. Mm-hmm. The relationship needs to be adjusted with equal effort from both parties. Then I found another story. Now, this one wasn't so much a study as a woman, also from the website Medium, and her name is Jess, and that's all she wrote as her name, How Romance Stories Have Ruined Us, including myself. And a little excerpt, because hers was very lengthy, her essay. She goes, so now we're in our mid-20s. Abby, where are you?
I'm in my late 20s.
You're still mid-ish.
Mid-ish. Mid to late.
You're mid-ish. So now we're in our mid-20s, and well, time to face the reality we were hiding from in our teen years. Time to come out of that fantasy world we had escaped to. Now we're faced with trying to figure out who we are as an individual, and not as these characters in these romance stories. We're dealing with heartbreak because we thought the first person to give us attention was the one. Now we're at the now what phase in our lives. I took it personally when my life did not turn out just exactly as my favorite protagonist went. What's your response?
My response is that if I was the kind of person to crack open a book and go, oh, I want a relationship like the High Lord of the Night Court and his High Lady Feyre, then yes, that would be grade A delusional. However, I'm a cynic. I am very critical when I read these romance novels. And anytime something is just a little too good to be true or a little too cheesy, I always roll my eyes and I'm like, that would never happen. So I know that my imagination is rooted in reality because I wish I was as delusional as some of these girls who are on Book Talk. Like, they'll be reading this novel and they'll be like, this guy is the gold standard. And then I read it, I'm like, this man is fake. This man is not real. Now, I will say, I do think romance novels have been good for one thing, and that is keeping expectations within a reasonable amount of highness. Like, I do think I've gotten out of situations that weren't good for me because I thought to myself, I'm like, if I read this in a book, would I want to stay with this person? And the answer would be no. Sometimes it's yes, and sometimes I get ghosted. But I think I do have a good sense of what is somebody's imaginary fairy tale for what men or women should be like. And I feel like because I'm always a critical thinker when reading them, and sometimes when things are a little too cheesy, I tend to not invest because they don't feel real. I know that romance novels are not keeping me back from finding my true love / mate.
Okay.
Doesn't everybody who have a little bit of delusion in a situation think that what they're saying is reality, though?
Yeah, but I feel like I'm good at checking myself. I'm good at stepping back, seeing things from an objective standpoint. Like, I don't think I'm going to, you know what? I gave up at age 11 when I didn't get my Hogwarts letter that things in books were not real. You know what I mean? Like, my heart was broken early.
All right, one more retort.
Okay.
Could it be that because you are a very avid reader.
Yes.
You are a ferocious reader.
Yeah.
Could it be that subconsciously, unbeknownst to you, all these, like, over all the years, the YAs you have read and the books now, that subconsciously it has, like, supplanted unattainable expectations?
No.
The Bert Show.